Have you ever wanted to grow a carnivorous plant but thought they were too hard to care for? Today, I'll share 5 easy carnivorous plants for beginners, plus the simple care tips you need to keep them healthy and thriving. Hi, I'm Carnivorous Plant Growing, and on this channel we make plant care simple and fun. If you love unusual plants like Venus flytraps, pitcher plants, and sundews, you're in the right place. Let's jump right into the easiest species you can grow at home. Venus flytrap. How to grow Venus flytrap. About sunlight. In spring, autumn, and winter, expose the plant to direct sunlight for at least 6 hours. In summer, the sunlight is too strong, so use window shades or other means to prevent direct sunlight from reaching the plant. About watering. Use distilled water, rainwater, reverse osmosis water, etc. Keep the soil moist, not waterlogged. Another method is to store water in a saucer and manage it that way. However, this method requires caution in summer. The water in the tray may become warm, so if using this method in summer, it is necessary to replace the water several times to prevent it from warming up. About soil. I plant using a mixture of peat moss and Canuma soil. Alternatively, you can use sphagnum moss or a mixture of peat moss and perlite. No fertilizer or insects needed. Advice: Venus flytraps enter dormancy in winter. Therefore, let them rest for about 3 months outdoors. If you manage them indoors during winter, keep them in a room without heating. Even during dormancy, water them when the soil dries out. It is a plant recognized by everyone, and if given appropriate light and water, it is not as troublesome as people might think. Detailed instructions on how to grow Venus flytraps can be found in the overview section. Please take a look if you are interested. Next, carnivorous plants. Drosera capensis. How to grow Drosera capensis. About sunlight. In spring, autumn, and winter, expose the plant to direct sunlight for at least 6 hours. In summer, the sunlight is too strong, so use window shades or other means to prevent direct sunlight from reaching the plant. About watering. Use distilled water, rainwater, or reverse osmosis water. Keep the soil moist. One way to do this is to store water in a saucer. Be careful when doing this in the summer. In summer, daytime temperatures rise, causing the stored water to heat up and damage the roots. Therefore, during summer, the water in the tray must be changed several times. If you do not use a tray, water once in the morning and once at night. About soil. Use a mixture of sphagnum moss, peat moss, and Canuma soil, or peat moss and perlite. Drosera capensis is very tolerant and will recover quickly even if left unattended for a short period of time. No fertilizer or insects needed. Next, carnivorous plant. Sarracenia purpurea. Sarracenia purpurea produces thick, short pitcher-shaped leaves. How to grow Sarracenia purpurea. About sunlight. In spring, autumn, and winter, expose the plant to direct sunlight for at least 6 hours. In summer, the sunlight is too strong, so use window shades or other means to prevent direct sunlight from reaching the plant. About watering. Use rainwater or distilled water. Do not keep the soil constantly moist. Be mindful of the balance of watering. This will allow the roots of Sarracenia purpurea to grow strong. About soil. A mixture of sphagnum moss, peat moss, and perlite is recommended. No fertilizer or insects needed. Tolerates cold winters. Great for balconies or outdoor gardens. This one's perfect if you want a low-maintenance plant that can live outside year-round in many climates. For more detailed information on growing Sarracenia purpurea, please refer to the overview section. Next, carnivorous plants. Nepenthes alata. This is Nepenthes red errata. The difference between this and errata is, as the name suggests, its reddish color. How to grow Nepenthes alata. About sunlight. In spring, autumn, and winter, expose the plant to direct sunlight for at least 6 hours. In summer, the sunlight is too strong, so use window shades or other means to prevent direct sunlight from reaching the plant. About watering. Use distilled water or rainwater. Be careful not to overwater the soil, as this can cause the roots to rot. About humidity. This plant prefers a humidity level of around 50%. About soil. We recommend planting in sphagnum moss or Canuma soil. If Canuma soil is not available, we recommend planting in a mixture of peat moss and perlite. With appropriate humidity, it is an eye-catching ornamental plant that grows beautifully indoors. A detailed video on how to grow Nepenthes can be found in the overview section. Please take a look if you like. Next, carnivorous plants. Pinguicula vaser. Pinguicula secretes mucus from its leaves, which it uses to digest insects that land on them and convert them into nutrients. How to grow Pinguicula vaser. About sunlight. A south-facing window is effective, but avoid strong midday sunlight. Without sufficient light, the color will fade and the leaves will lose their stickiness. About soil. I recommend using sphagnum moss alone or a mixture of peat moss and Canuma soil. If Canuma soil is unavailable, available, perlite can be used as a substitute. About watering. Use only distilled water, rainwater, or reverse osmosis water. Water only when the soil is almost dry. This prevents root rot and promotes healthy root development. No insects or fertilizers are needed. A detailed video on how to grow Pinguicula can be found in the overview section. Please take a look if you are interested. Remember, all carnivorous plants need pure water, nutrient-poor soil, and the right light. Avoid tap water and fertilizer, they can kill your plant. Start with 1 or 2 species, and you'll quickly learn their unique rhythms. If you found this helpful, give it a like, subscribe for more plant tips, and comment below which carnivorous plant you want to try first. I've also linked my care guides in the description so you can keep your plants happy from day one.